Welcome back to Final Expense Telesales. My name is Dana Neeson. Today, I not only have a call review for you, I am bringing you my call review. That's right, I jumped back on the phones over the weekend to test an inbound call system that we are using. And so, what better way to train agents on best practices than to do it yourself? So, yesterday in team training, we went over two of my calls. And I'm going to go ahead and share that with you today, although I am going to black out the screen to protect the privacy of the agents that don't want to be shown on social media. So please take out your notebooks, take notes. I hope you find a lot of value from this. And if you do, the only thing that I ask is to give this video a like. Please post a comment. Share this with someone you think could find value from it. It all helps the algorithm, whatever that is, find this video more viewers of people that need help. If you are just now finding this channel, I am the owner and founder of Empower Life Group. We are a remote, simplified issue life insurance agency specializing in final expense. My whole job is to try and help you have stronger, more sophisticated sales conversations. And if you have any interest in joining our team, my contact information is in the description below. I got that all out in a minute 20. Without further ado, enjoy the training.
Okay. Thank you for calling the Final Expense Department. My name is Dana. Who am I speaking with?
My name is
Hi, Larry. Are you calling about information on final expense life insurance today?
the Family Protection Plan for seniors, life insurance for seniors.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Perfect. And are you between the ages of 50 and 85?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And what state are you in? Is that North Dakota? Did that come through correct?
Yes, ma'am.
North Dakota. Okay. And for discount purposes, do you have an active checking or savings account?
I have a, yes, I do.
Yeah, okay, perfect. All right, so before we get started, Larry, just want to let you know that our call may be monitored and recorded. And what kind of had you interested in getting some information on these plans today?
Well, I just saw the advertisement. I'm just inquiring, what is it all about? Yeah.
Yeah, of course. What about the ad had you interested in learning more? What did it say on it? We run so many ads.
Well, it was just brief, but I know it has something to do with me. So that's in my situation now. I just want to inquire.
Do you currently have anything in place to pay for final expenses if something were to happen to you?
If I do, it's not much.
And when you say not much, what do
I
you
don't
think?
know. I don't know. I have job insurance. I don't think I have life insurance. No, ma'am.
Okay, got it. So you're still working? Is that what I heard?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Well, good. Well, yeah, any insurance that you may or may not have with your job, even if it was life insurance, you wouldn't be able to take it with you if you ever left that job or retired. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. And is this just for you, Larry, or are we wanting to get information for anybody else as well?
No. This is just for me.
Just for you? Okay, perfect. So, so you just saw the ad, you just kind of thought about it now. So before today, had you already been thinking about putting something in place?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was. What I understand, it was like up to $40,000 free money or something.
That's right. It's free money for your family when you pass away, that they get the money at no cost to pay for your funeral and final expenses, and it's also tax-free. So it's not free to have a policy. You still make monthly payments on it, but it is absolutely a free death benefit for your family. Does that make sense?
Okay. Okay, well, that was my concern. That's what I wanted to find out. Uh, uh, that's the reason why I was calling.
Are you
But
wanting to
anyway,
cover anything beyond a funeral or final expenses, Larry?
yeah.
Are you wanting to cover anything beyond a funeral or final expenses?
I just wanted to make sure everybody didn't have to worry about the other stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know, but like they said on TV, you already heartbroken with the debt.
Yeah.
Now you heartbroken with the expenses. You know, so leaving that type of stuff behind, it doesn't. Even though it's life, but it doesn't fare well.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, because you're right. They're already emotionally grieving, and then to have to figure out to set up a GoFundMe or pass the bucket or raise money just to put you away is hard. So finding affordable plans for this is what I specialize in. Would it be helpful if I can kind of walk you through the process and try and find something that feels comfortable and affordable for you?
Okay, well, let me get this your personal phone or this is your?
This is an office line that you called in from, but
Okay.
I can text you my business card from my direct line. Would that help?
Yeah, and let me get back with you.
Is it 705?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yeah, I can text you there. Besides being concerned about maybe the price or having to pay for something, was there something else you were concerned about?
That was it, ma'am.
That was it. So if we could find something that's maybe 30 or 40 or $50 a month, would that be helpful for you? Do you think that would give you some peace of mind? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Right, and then we got disconnected. So I do promise I called him back on his cell phone. I called him double dialed or triple dialed him, and then we got back on. And there were a few of you that were in the room when I got him back on the line. So I wish you could have heard the rest of the call, but I asked him a lot of emotional questions. Why is it important to him? Who is it for? What would that do for his kids? What would that do for him personally? Um, so, show of hands, be honest with yourself. And I can't see all of you. I definitely don't see 21 cameras. So, show of hands, how many people, when they heard this was a free $40,000 benefit, would have rolled your eyes and disconnected?
Me.
Yeah. Now this was already past my 90-second buffer, right? So I've already paid for it. But what are your thoughts? Yeah, I wrote him. I called him back on my cell phone and I wrote him. What was his name? Larry? Actually, let me pull this up. I'll show you what
Dana, when you say your cell phone, are you talking your personal cell phone or your business line?
my personal cell phone. Yeah, I didn't even have Go High Level Up because I wasn't using it. So we did AMAM for, or does it have the price on here?
7606.
You already saw it?
Yep.
7606. Thank you for helping me with the next step in my life with a heart. So yes, he went through. Okay, thoughts before we go to the next call. Thoughts on
Yes.
how I responded to the free $40,000 benefit.
So let me put my hand down. I needed to hear that call so badly because I don't know, I was like mind blown while you were after at the beginning, because at the beginning I was like, oh, she's not going to be able to close this one. That's literally what I thought whenever I heard him initially in the first 5 minutes. And then I think I kept getting more and more shocked every time he would like answer the phone. And just, it's like I watched you in real time, like take him. It was such a wholesome phone conversation because I like watched you take him from like not want only wanting it if it was free or whatever he may have thought to like empowering him. Like he felt like he was just like, I mean, he literally messaged you back and said, "Thank you for helping with me with this next step in my life." And it gave me a whole new outlook on that. Um, I don't know. It was like you empowered him and made him feel like a better grandfather and father and all
Yeah, I
kinds of
framed
stuff.
him a
Like,
couple times. Yeah. And that's
yeah, it was so cool. And it just gave me a whole new outlook on that objection. So that phone call was so helpful for me to hear.
good. Matt?
Well, I was surprised that, well, first, you go through and you asked all those questions, and then after 2 minutes, where you're already locked into that call,
90
then he
seconds.
says, yeah, after the 90 seconds, he says, oh, about the free. So you're now locked in. So the way that you handled that, but there was one point, and I can't remember where it was. It was maybe a couple minutes after that, where it sounded like he was about to hang up.
He was.
And then you said something, and I need to listen to this again because
Yeah.
you said something and then he stayed on the line. And I was like, I've had that happen before, and then it's a hang up.
I just
And
asked him more questions. I
the
just
way
keep
you did it,
asking
though, it was
questions.
just
So
the
here's the
timing
thing.
was really
Yeah,
good.
here's the thing about this call and the other call we're going to listen to next. I want you to hear my sales process the way that I'm telling, like that I'm teaching. Like I want you to listen to it and say, this is exactly what Dana tells me to do, right? Because I'm not telling you to do something because I think it sounds good, right? Or because I think it's cool. Like I'm telling you to do it a certain way because I know that it works. But the biggest the biggest moment for me is it's not in what I say, it is what's happening between my ears. That's the biggest thing, the biggest difference maker between me and everybody else that's like, oh, I totally would have thought this wasn't a sale. You know how you've heard me talk about the detachment? Like I am completely removed from the outcome. I am completely removed from whether or not this is going to be a sale. 100% of my focus is how I can help someone in that moment where we're at in the process. It does not matter to me whether or not they buy. It does not matter to me what objection they give me. I have someone on the phone who responded to a ad, right? You heard in the beginning, he read exactly what it said, and I still know he needs help. So it's not a waste of my time to try to help someone who I know if anyone else gets him on the line, they're going to discard him. No, sorry, it's not free, and move on to the next person. Right? That's why I've almost closed 100% of the people that I've gone past 90 seconds because I don't care about the outcome. I'm completely detached from it. And all I want to do is try to help the person that I have the blessed opportunity to be on the phone with. Someone else had their hand up. Was that Adam? Was that you? Did someone else have their hand up that I saw?
Yeah, I did. I was going to say your response to him thinking that it's free. My mind automatically goes, well, no, I mean, you have to pay something. Nothing's really free, but I really appreciate how you focused him in on the results. Yeah, it's free for your beneficiaries. It's free to them. It's tax free. That was a nice pivot I had never heard before.
It's the same thought process. Yeah, I can play it again. And this whole recording today, Adam, this will be on the Empower site under the call recording, so you can go back and fast forward and listen to this at any time. Um, anytime you get an objection or a perceived objection or a concern, right? Acknowledge, agree, empathize, ask another question. So whether it comes up in the beginning or whether it comes up in the end, it's the same formula, right? I just need to find a different way to agree with them. And in this case, yeah, you're absolutely right. Because what are they expecting me to say? It's not free. You have to pay for it. Oh, well, I don't want to do that. Like all that does is create friction and sales resistance. And I might have lost him had I responded that way because we won't have time to listen to this whole call. I'm going to try to fast forward some of the underwriting stuff because that took up a decent amount of time. But the husband got declined for Moo. I think we started with, then I pivoted to AmAm so I can see what medications were coming up. And he ended up having 3 dementia medications that he did not know he was taking. The irony. And then I thought we lost it. We were almost going to say goodbye. And then I started talking to them about how you don't lose anything. Like if something were to happen, you get all of your money back plus 10% interest. And the husband started selling it to her. And they went from $30 a month for a 3,000 um, uh, immediate start policy to, and then he was like, well, I'll just put $100 a month towards it if we get it all back plus 10% interest. Then he went from spending 30 to 100 and like almost liked the guaranteed issue policy more than the immediate death benefit. It was wild. But
That's amazing.
so funny. So yeah, and this is the wife that I have the appointment with today. Okay, any questions before I hit play on this one? Are we liking this? Using my calls instead of your calls?
Dana, this is so helpful.
I still want to do your calls, by the way. That's super important because we need to be able to hear where we're going wrong, right? And giving you suggestions. But I'm glad that this is helping.
Wait, are you talking to me or everyone?
Everyone.
Oh, okay.
All right, here we go.
A friend of mine just saw this online yesterday. These spots are filling fast. Carriers confirmed they're still
department. My name is Dana.
Call now.
You're speaking with Deborah.
Hi, Deborah. How are you today?
I'm doing just fine, thank you. I'm calling regarding this insurance I just saw on TV. Easy Cover age plans.
You looking for information on final expense life insurance today?
Yes.
Okay. Are you between the ages of 50 and 80?
Oh, I'm calling for my husband.
Oh, that's okay. Is he between the ages of 50 and 80?
Yes, he is.
Okay. And are you calling from California?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And for discount purposes, do you guys have an active checking or savings account?
Pardon me?
Do you have an active checking or savings account with a local bank or credit union?
I do.
Okay. All right. I'm in California too. What part of California are you in?
The Bay Area.
Oh, okay. So you're basically in a different state.
Where are you at?
I'm in a city called Thousand Oaks in Southern California.
Oh, Southern California. I know where that's at. My daughter lives in Southern California.
Where does she live?
She lives in San Fernando Valley.
Oh, that's where I grew up.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, small world, small world. Okay, so let's get your husband's name.
Richard, Richard.
Okay, and what's his date of birth?
5.
Okay. And is he with you at the moment as well?
Yes, he is.
Okay, perfect. So what had you thinking that you might need to look at something to put in place for your husband?
Well, no, well, what are the plans?
Well, there's a lot of them. As a broker, it's my job to shop around with all the 26 major carriers in California to try to find out what he can qualify, how much coverage, and what it would be. But there's a lot of different directions I could go, so it would be really helpful to kind of get a better understanding of what you're looking for. Like, have you ever gotten stuck before? Has he ever had life insurance before? And that will really kind of help me on which carrier would be the best for you guys.
No. Basically, I have insurance, but he doesn't.
Okay.
Let's see. say maybe 10,000. I don't know. That's
Okay, well, that's a good starting point. So part of what I'm going to do here today to help you guys is not only help you find a good carrier and possibly an affordable price, but also figure out how much coverage you guys need based on what you're wanting to look to do with it. So are you only wanting to pay for like a funeral or cremation, or what's the primary goal for the insurance?
Cremation.
Okay. And
I don't even know what that goes for nowadays.
Yeah. So we're going to help figure out all this stuff for you today. Help kind of clear the air, make it less confusing, so that way you know exactly what you need and that you have the right amount. Would that be helpful?
Okay. Yes.
Perfect. Good.
What is the cost on a cremation nowadays?
We are going to get there too. I actually have a database that's connected to every funeral home in California. So I'm going to be able to tell you exactly how much it costs in your area.
Okay.
So yeah, you have 1,000,002 questions. I love it. So let's just back up really quick. So what is it okay if I ask you a few questions? Is that okay, Deborah?
Of course.
Okay, perfect. So can I just ask, because I'm curious, why is it you have insurance and he doesn't? What happened?
Because he didn't want any.
Oh,
and I keep saying, you need some. And he goes, no. And I said, well, I'm just going to go ahead and get it. And then this here popped up because I've been asking my insurance person, but my insurance person isn't being, he hasn't called me back.
Okay.
So I'm a little upset with him.
And how much coverage do you have?
I have 5,000.
How long ago did you get it?
About 4 years ago.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, that's a long time. So that's good. Do you feel like what you have is enough?
I'm only going to be cremated. I don't know.
Okay. Well, good. Well, we'll just make sure we figure that out for you too, right? To just give you peace of mind on the amount that you have. So that way you don't have to worry about that as well.
Okay.
So if you have 5,000 for a cremation, how did you come up with 10,000 for your husband? Just want to see what it would cost?
Yes.
Okay. So how is he feeling about it now? Is he still feel like he doesn't need it?
No, he needs it. He says, do it. We saw your advertising on TV, and he says, you keep talking about it. He says, call them. So here I am.
So it was a sign. And you got the person in California to help. Okay. All right. So he says he needs it. So finally being able to put something in place to protect you, like, what would that feel like, knowing that it's already taken care of?
Well, that's what I want, because I don't want to depend on my kids.
And is that what would happen? Would your kids have to pay for it if something happened?
Yeah. So I don't want to depend on them. I want to get it all situated.
Okay. So the phone number that I have on file, the 682-9.
Pause for a minute, because there's a lot that happened there in just the first 7 minutes. Is anyone taking notes, by the way?
Yep.
Okay. So a lot has happened just in the first 7 minutes. She asked me for, by the way, this person is a buyer. Even just in this first 7 minutes, actually part of, Sydney, to your point, part of the sales call we had with Daniel G was, how do you identify a buyer? And it's when they ask these types of questions. How much does it cost? How much does a cremation cost? Like, she's asking buying questions, and many of you may be perceiving that as objections or being controlled. And how do I pivot away from this so that I don't have to go give her the price right away? Right? So I've identified already pretty early on that they're buyers, but there's a lot that's in my way right now. So who wants to tell me some of the things that I've identified that are in my way? And that what I've already done to try to overcome it.
Well, she definitely, like at the beginning, just wanted the price. Um, so I'm assuming like if she had looked before and hadn't built that relation, like all of that, you hadn't built that trust with, if she had asked these questions to to an agent before who didn't like direct it back to the script and ask emotional questions, they may have just like given the price in 5 minutes and oh, she doesn't really like the price and then hangs up without coverage for her husband.
And I really haven't even completely built up trust yet. I'm just trying to peel some layers. But I was able to uncover, besides the husband not wanting insurance, yes, that's something that's in my way, which is one of the reasons why I asked if he was there, and yes, he is sitting right there. So you'll hear how I bring him into the conversation a little later. But when I redirected her back to Discovery after she asked me for the price, how much do cremations cost, we're definitely going to get there, right? So I acknowledge these things, but I don't go right into funeralocity and try to solve the problem at that moment, right? Which is what we hear a lot. We hear a lot, oh, I hear something that I know the answer to. I'm just going to go there right now, right? We stay in the order of operations because we maintain call control that way. We don't bounce all over the place. So, yes, we're definitely going to be getting there. I actually happen to have access to something like this. Go back and ask a question. I love that you're asking all these questions. It makes it feel like kind of like, again, what Daniel G said, like compliment them on the fact that they want to know the price. I love that you have all these questions. That's really, really great. Right? I said that to her. Um, but I was able to uncover something super, super important.
She has
Yes,
another
Caesar got
agent.
it. Caesar got it. I was able to uncover when I asked question, why do you have a policy and your husband doesn't? Well, he doesn't want any. Okay, well, how did you come up with this? And like really curious just about their situation. If I did not uncover that she has an agent that she has been trying to get a hold of to get insurance for her husband, what possible objection could I have gotten at the end?
She's gonna just call her other agent.
Yeah, exactly. If I am not doing the work to build up trust, credibility, and rapport through maintaining call control, figuring out their situation, asking good questions, educating them in a minute, then I'm not giving them any reason to stay with me. I'm just going to keep, they're just going to, I'm just going to give them pricing so they can use that to go give to their other agent. Now I have an appointment with her today to do a call review on her policy with the other agent to cancel it and possibly replace it if we can save her money and get her some cash back that she's built up in that policy. And she understands the contestability period. We talked about that multiple times. But I can save her probably, half of her monthly bill right now. Okay, any other questions about what we've heard so far before I hit play again? She's a dominant personality type, right? California dominant personality. I know that some people are afraid of California. We're not that scary.
But Dan, on that note, on the dominant personality, I think it served you really well after you complimented her to then say, would it be okay if I asked you a few questions? Because she wanted that level of control. So you're empowering her to say yes and acknowledging that she wants control. So you gave her that option to say to tell you to go forward. I thought it was
Who
really
did we hear that from, by the way? You just brought up a really great point, Colin. What book were we reading? It was I think it was a book that we were reading in the book club. I think it was Super Communicators. I think that's what it was. For those who read Super Communicators with me, I think he mentioned in that book that you are actually giving a perception of control to the person when they give you permission to do the thing you're asking to do. Because you're still in control by doing it. But when they said yes to it, they
yeah,
felt that they were in control of what happened next. So
totally. And that's what she wanted very badly. And for you to stay on track, you had to give her the control to tell you to proceed with the direction you were going to go anyway.
Exactly. That's such an incredible observation. I'm very happy that you shared that, because it's the perception of control by not just asking the questions, but because she kept trying to take the control back by asking me questions.
Yep.
I had to ask permission to say, hey, is it okay if I ask you a few more questions about your situation? She says yes. She's now in control.
Yeah. My guess, Dan, is that she relaxes from this point forward, actually. I'm guessing that was a big move.
Well, let's
Like
see.
she can relax into your control because you gave her the perception of control.
I love that. I hope you guys wrote that down. That was very, very excellent, Colleen. Thank you.
404. Is that your number?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just going to start by sending you a text message with my business card to that phone number. Is that okay with you, Deborah?
Sure, that's fine.
Is it DEBRA or is there an H in there?
Yes. No, it's DEBRA.
Okay.
My mom didn't do it the biblical way.
Okay. So I'm sending you a text now.
Pardon me?
I'm sending you a text now. It has my business card.
This is your phone number, right?
I'm texting you from my direct line. You called into the company line, so I'm giving you my direct number. So your phone should have just gone off. Can you check?
Yep, it did.
Okay, so you have a picture of me. You have my national producer number on there. It says my NPN number. And you see that? You can click on the picture and you can make it bigger too.
Oh, nice. Okay. I'm going to take a picture of this.
Do I look like I'm from California?
Well, you got blonde hair, girlfriend.
That's right. Perfect. Okay, so like I told you earlier, because it doesn't work as easy as sometimes people think it does. And so as a licensed broker, right, I don't just represent one company. Once we kind of figure out how much you need and you understand the different types of insurance, then we're going to shop around together with all the carriers to find out who's going to offer Richard the most amount of coverage for the lowest rate based on his age and his current health. Do you like the idea of that?
Sure, that's fine.
Yeah, and that way you don't have to hang up and call around and try to shop all of them yourself. That's my job.
Okay.
Okay. And so most people also too that I work with, they're on a fixed income. Are you guys on a fixed income like Social Security or disability?
Yes, my husband is.
Okay. So it's very important to me that if this is something you guys are going to finally take care of, that we find something comfortable and affordable so it's not something you have to stress out about every month.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So before we get into the health questions, the first thing we got to talk about is what type of policy makes the most sense to apply for. Do you guys understand the difference between term insurance and whole life insurance?
No.
Okay. All right. So we have to start here. So the guy that you worked with 4 years ago didn't tell you what type of policy you have, whole life or term life? Okay. We have to talk about this because if you guys don't understand the difference, you might accidentally buy something that will cancel or go up in price or that you could outlive. Okay?
Oh.
And that would not be good. So I want you to understand the difference. So term insurance, that is temporary protection. And term is temporary. Like we have a president for in term for 4 years. You can think of term insurance as only lasting 10 years or so, and then it cancels.
Okay.
Right? And
so
it
cancels.
It can't, not only does it cancel, it goes up in price every few years. So a lot of these term policies, they start out really cheap, but then it goes up and then it goes up, and then it goes up, and then eventually you're like, I can't afford this anymore. And now you have to cancel it yourself, and all that money you've paid into it is gone. So
Gotcha.
It's really important that when you're shopping for insurance, we don't shop for that type of policy. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And just to make sure you got it, tell me why you agree with me.
Well, I wouldn't agree with that because I would want the insurance to go until the Lord takes me home to be in heaven.
Yes, ma'am. And you probably wouldn't want something that would keep going up in price either, right?
Right. I wouldn't be able to afford it. So all my time
Exactly.
paying would be a waste.
Exactly. So I might want to have you check your policy to make sure you don't have that kind either.
Okay.
Okay, so whole life is the exact opposite. The whole life means that it lasts forever, your whole life. And once you're approved, the payment, it never goes up, the coverage doesn't go down, and it can never be canceled until the good Lord takes you home, which is what you just said. Okay, so
the whole life is the whole life goes. I'm trying to write this down.
Okay, take your time.
Until okay.
Read me what you wrote.
Gotcha.
What did you write?
I put whole life insurance goes until the Lord takes you home.
Yes, ma'am. Excellent. Good job. And so the whole life starts out a little bit higher in price. So if you ever see, do you ever see any ads or anything online that says that you could get like 20,000 in coverage for $9.95 a month? Like Colonial Penn or AARP?
Yeah, I have seen that. Yeah, I have.
Perfect. So those are the exact types of advertisements that are advertising term insurance because it's cheap and it gets the phone to ring, and then people buy things not realizing that prices are going to go up or it's going to cancel. It's kind of like a bait and switch.
Well, that's what your thing said.
Huh? That's what your thing said. Your advertisement said that it wouldn't go up.
It's not going to go up. That's exactly right. It's never going to go up.
But then the other things don't go up either, because I remember my mom had, what did Mama have? Mama had one of those that she paid $9.95 a month, and it never went up, and she never lost it. She had it until she went home to be with the Lord.
Do you know how much coverage it was?
No, I don't.
So there's other types of life insurance like accidental insurance that also last for your whole life, and those are really inexpensive, but those only pay out if you pass away from an accident. So there's a couple different types. But when we shop and look for pricing and coverage amounts, we want to make sure that we're looking at the type of policy that makes the most sense for you guys. And so what I'm thinking is the whole life insurance. What are you guys thinking?
Well, what's the price of the whole life?
That's what we're going to talk about now.
Okay.
So at the beginning of our call, we talked about how we wanted to make sure.
Okay, let's talk about education. We were in education for a while, right? I uncovered a lot more stuff in education, and she started writing everything down. And as Colin said earlier, she started calling me girlfriend.
Yeah.
Right? She did start to calm down and lean in, and I'm teaching her, right? So you're hearing this shift in her energy from trying to help guide her. So what did you hear in education that you thought was important, or that you noticed that I did? Yeah, the husband did enter the conversation, and I was like, shit, right? Not that he entered it, but what he said. What else did you guys listen or write down in education?
Well, we heard that her mom had coverage. Also, I thought it was cool because you completely eliminated like any, oh, well, I saw it was, $10 for $50,000 of coverage. You like eliminated that objection in education because you brought it up yourself. Like you were like, did you ever see these ads for, like $10 a month? And she was like, oh yeah, I have seen those. And then explain to her that that's term. So like you eliminated those objections, which I thought was cool.
Okay, good. What else did you guys hear?
Yeah, so you build trust, Dana, because now she doesn't know what she even had. Like
Yeah, so
her.
did you hear me purposely create even more doubt in her policy? So now I know I have an agent objection, right? I already know I uncovered that in discovery. So now I created doubt. Your agent 4 years ago didn't even tell you that. Doubt number one. Well, we better look at your policy to make sure that you got the right. I mean, she probably has whole life, right? She has a $5,000 policy, but she doesn't know that, right? Her agent never even took the time to help her. Well, we better look at your policy just to make sure. And, oh, okay, right? Because I'm educating her. When we provide something of value without asking for anything in return yet, we become the expert. Now, like she has all these questions and she's writing everything down. There's a couple other things that I want to make sure you've written down or paid attention to. What else did you hear?
Dana, and credibility, I noticed when you were talking about how you shop around, you included the first person plural. You said we. Is that something that you always do, or did you just do that because you noticed like her personality type, like Colin referred to earlier? Or do you always do like we're going to shop around together?
Oh, I typically do we.
Okay. Yeah, I've been saying I, so I'm definitely going to change that. Um, and do we
Yeah,
now in
because
that part?
this is a partnership,
Right.
right? It's not what I'm going to do for you, Todd. It's what we are going to do together.
Mhm.
Yeah, good observation. That wasn't even what I was looking for, but thank you. What else?
Dana, I really like the transition into education where you said, if this is something that you are going to finally take care of, and that was the context for the education section. So then we're going to need to look at these distinctions, which I think puts her in basically like a decision-oriented mindset, which again, when somebody wants control, it sets her up for like, okay, this makes complete sense that if I'm going to find, and also challenges her gently about why she hasn't done anything. It was really, that was another great sentence, I thought. And it set the stage perfectly, I think, for education.
Thank you. Who noticed something not just about the words that I said, about how they were delivered? I'll challenge you to go back to this training and fast forward to the education section of this call. Did anybody write down how many times I paused for 2 seconds, 2 to 3 seconds after I said something important?
Huh.
Most of us have run-on sentences. We literally, we talk so fast. We don't even give our clients time to write things down or to make sure that they're still with us or that they comprehended what we just said. That's another reason that I want you to ask them. Now tell me why you agree with me on why term isn't bad, right? And she's like, well, I wouldn't want that, right? But she only said one part, that it would cancel. She didn't say that it was going to go up in price, so I had to fill in the blanks for her. And then when she said, hold on, I'm writing this down, when I was explaining to her whole life, my way of asking her to tell me what she understands about whole life was me just asking her, tell me what you wrote down. It's the same thing. right? For me to get her, so she basically sold herself on why she doesn't want term for this type of need and why she wants whole life. And I used her words, till the good Lord takes you home. But what I want you to really go back and listen to, because I've said with type A personalities, this is typically where the sale happens, right here. Right? And it's going to continue to happen as I educate them on how much coverage they need. Because what did she ask for? 10,000. How much are probably people quoting her? 10,000. Right? But we're going to help figure out, do you even need 10,000? And people really appreciate that. Right? They really appreciate that. Anyone else notice anything about education before we move on to the how much coverage do they need section?
Well, just that she said well, I don't know, 10,000. But then she's asking you, well, how much is a cremation? And
Yeah.
how much do I need?
You heard that in Discovery, right? And I even asked her, how did you come up with 10,000? After I found out she had 5, right? They don't know, right? Even the people that can try to control you have no clue, which is if you let them control you, you're toast, right? She's a buyer, but is she going to buy from you? Or is she going to get me on the phone? And she's going to ghost you. All right, let's continue.
Sure, we were looking for the right amount of coverage amounts, like the 10,000. And so are you okay if I pull up that database and give you an idea of how much a cremation is costing?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. And so do you want to look it up by city or by zip code?
Zip code.
Okay, go ahead and give me your zip code.
94583.
Okay, and that's San Ramon?
Yes.
Okay, so if we look at a cremation cost, let's look in a 10-mile radius just to get an idea. Now there's a direct cremation and then there's a full service cremation. Do you think—
What's a direct?
A direct cremation is basically they just cremate the body and then they hand the ashes back to you in a box or an urn. A full service cremation includes like a viewing and a service and like a funeral.
No, I want just the cremation and hand me back the box.
Perfect. Okay. So there's a couple
What's that
that
called again?
direct
What's that called again?
cremation.
That's a direct. Okay.
That's a direct cremation, yeah. And so the good news is that your policy, the 5,000, it's plenty, because I'm going to give you some names. I don't know if you've heard of any of these or not, but there's something called the Special Touch Funeral and Cremation Service. There is Grimson's Cremation and Burial Centers, Graham Hitch Cremation and Memorial Center. These are all within a 5-mile radius of that zip code. It's less than $2,000 for a direct cremation.
Okay, so what is it less than 2,000? What, 1,999?
And that's a good question. A Special Touch Funeral and Cremation Service is currently $1,155. Graham Hitch is $1,560. Grimson's Cremation is $1,700. So anywhere as low as $1,100. The most expensive one on here is Wilson and Kratzer Chapel of San Ramon Valley, and theirs is $3,300. That's the most expensive one. But
okay, and what was the first one for what? 1,100, the direct one?
That's a Best Cremation Care or a Special Touch Funeral and Cremation Service.
Okay, I'm gonna write that down. Special cremation
And so I know you had originally said, maybe look at 10,000, but do you really think you need 10,000 if it's only going to cost less
No.
than 2,000? Yeah,
No,
right?
I just didn't know how much it was for a cremation. I just figured 10,000. I don't know.
Yeah. So, you don't want to spend more on insurance than you need or that you don't have to.
Exactly.
That's why we do this, right? So I want to express to you that it doesn't help you if you call life insurance agents and just say, I just want to know what 10,000 costs, and then they're going to tell you and you're going to say it's too expensive, and then you're going to be like, I can't afford it. But no one took the time to walk you through how much you actually need to find something that's affordable so that you can have that peace of mind. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah. Because what we just got done discussing, let's see if I got this right. A direct cremation at Special Cremation Service in San Ramon only costs $1,100.
Exactly.
Okay.
Would you have that money to come out of pocket if you didn't have life insurance?
Probably not.
Okay. So, we could start at looking at a $5,000 policy, the same amount you have, and we can go down as low as the life insurance company will allow us to go down. Some of them don't let us go down below 5,000, but some of them will go to like 3,000, 2,000. We just got to find the right one.
Okay.
Okay, so that's what we'll do next. Now we can get to that part, okay?
Okay.
Now that we have all the questions answered, we can move to that part. So you guys feeling good? Are you feeling more comfortable, like you understand how things work now?
Yeah, I understand that, so the cremation, but now I want to see, like you're saying, the insurance term, the temporary one can cancel and goes up in price.
But we're not going to look at that kind.
We're not going to want that one.
No.
So we're going to want the whole life insurance that goes until the Lord takes us home.
Yes, ma'am, you got it. You could work here.
Okay.
All right. So I have his date of birth as May 9th, 1951.
Yes.
All right, let's talk about that section. Benson just wrote, she's a learner. That's a good observation, Benson, because type A personalities do want to know everything. That's how you control them. Because I'm a type A personality. All right, what did you hear in that section?
I think the fact that like you let her know, because I noticed a few things. You're always asking her, like, are you okay with me, like, asking for permission before you do everything? And like I think we talked about earlier, like it makes her feel like she's in control because you're like kind of asking her. I noticed that, but also whenever I feel like you really, really won her over whenever you looked at Funeralocity and realized that she didn't need the full 10,000. And you asked her that, you were like, so, I know you said earlier that you wanted 10,000, but, do you think that you really need 10,000? And then you followed it up with saying that bringing up that no one has taken the time to figure out how much coverage they actually need. And I feel like she really, really leaned in to you after all of that happened.
Thank you, Sydney. I want to expand on one thing you just said because it was actually really important. Because I am very, very specific about my words and how I say them. And I always try to do things in forms of questions whenever I possibly can. So a mistake would be, so you don't need 10,000 because a cremation only costs $2,000 in your area. So we're going to, right? That's a mistake. Because it's not my policy. It's not my decision. I give them the information and basically lead them to the place where I want them to get to, but then they have to say it. So now that you know the cremation at most, right? You could at most might only cost $3,000. Do you really think you still need 10,000? Right? Well, no, like she was really adamant about that. And I could have followed it up with why not? But I think she kept talking. She was a talker, right? She kept continuing to talk. Did you guys notice more pauses there too? Did you pay attention to the pauses this time? Lots of information require pausing. Too much of us rush to these health questions. We rush to the quotes. We rush to get through the information. It's a lot, right? A lot of times you get, I want to think about it because you spoke too fast. You didn't allow your clients to participate in the conversation. And now they're so overwhelmed and confused, they have to think about it because you did not help them with that certainty, with that making sure section by section is isolated. It's its own, like even when you're listening to it, because you know the script flow, right? Like you can see the individual sections coming to life and they are its own separate area. Okay, we get this, tell me why. Okay, we get this, tell me why, right? And we can't skip it because then we're always going to create holes and leave things out. Now, and the other thing you notice, Sydney, is that I decided to create more credibility for myself. Right? If no one explains this to you, how do you know? Because just what I tell you guys, I told her. You're going to call for 10,000. They're going to give you a price for 10,000. Now you think you can't afford the insurance and you don't buy anything and now you're left with nothing. All because someone didn't take the time to help you understand how much you really need. Like I did that because I needed her to it's me. You're not going anywhere else. You're not going to this other agent.
Yeah, Dana, I saw that when you asked her like the series of questions and set her up for it, she actually went ahead and restated to you the value of being able to just being handheld to determine what her needs were. And then, you could tell she was feeling good about it, but she actually just came right out and said it. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and
I can see how that.
it's all starting to relax. And so from hello to health questions, we're at 21 minutes. That's typically how long it should take for you to get through everything until you get to health questions. If you're at health questions to quotes in 5 minutes, you've missed so much, right? And with her especially, can you imagine if I started that way, like how easy it would be to like tell me the price now? How do I go back? Right? After I've already opened the door and started there. So it's harder, right? It's harder this way, but who wants to stay at a 20% close rate?
We should do your call reviews every day. This is so helpful.
All right, so I'm going to fast forward through all the health questions here. Let's see.
I can't put it on yours.
We were already at payment information. I want you to hear how I offered the price.
We can have primary beneficiary. Final eligibility approval. So the companies that I'm going to look at and they're going to tell exactly. Start at looking at a $5,000 policy, the same amount you have, and we can go down as low as the life insurance company will allow us to go down. Some of them don't let us go down below 5,000, but some of them will go to like 3 part. Okay, diabetes with no complications.
3,000.
That's so. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So they're saying
1-2-1-2.
they're saying that the 3,000 has to meet with me starting with 3,000.
Okay, just so you guys are aware, remember how I always talk about how we spend way too much time in underwriting? Way too much time asking health questions because we get them out of that emotional state. Remember how I just told you that we stopped at 21 minutes So we're at 26 minutes now, and I'm about to give them a price. So I spend the least amount of time in health questions and medications and exhausting them in underwriting, because even if you have everything right, something could still pop up that you missed. And if you have built up that trust, you will be able to pivot if you have to. So all I ask are the major things, right? And I even on the script, I'll go through the stuff super fast, but I'm not like, how many milligrams of that? And when was the last time it was filled? And when were you like, it's so exhausting. Okay, so 21 to 26 minutes, 5 minutes in underwriting is all I spent.
Yes. Okay. So Mutual of Omaha right now, based on the past cancer and the diabetes with no complications, I like them because they pay their claims fast.
Cremation. He has 9. He has,
and then we'll run the prescription check if you like one of these to make sure that we can actually get it.
Okay.
So I'm going to start with, let's see. It's just loading, so give me one moment. Have you guys ever heard of Mutual of Omaha?
Yes.
Yeah? So actually, who's your policy with, Deborah?
With Americo.
Oh, with Americo? Okay, that's a good company too. So Mutual of Omaha was founded in 1909. You've probably seen them all over on TV. They're one of the few life insurance companies that's a Fortune 500. And I like them because they pay their claims fast and their customer service is great. So that's the first one I'll probably look at for you.
Okay.
Okay, let me take a look. And I'm going to just start, if it's okay with you guys, just with a $3,000 plan. And we can go up if you want to. But Richard, I know this is like not the most fun thing to do, and you probably don't want to spend a lot of money on it, and you just want to make sure Deborah's protected. So are you okay with me starting with $3,000?
Yes.
Okay. So Mutual of Omaha right now, based on the past cancer and the diabetes with no complications, it's showing that we can apply for their level coverage, which means that if we get you approved, there's no waiting period. Do you know what I mean when I say a waiting period?
Yeah, it's like it starts today.
Correct. So there's a lot of companies that make you wait for 2 years before the policy starts. You have to pay on it for 2 years before the coverage starts. This one would start right away, or whenever you made the first payment, which doesn't have to be today. It can be whenever you get your next Social Security check. And they're offering
no
what's that?
waiting level. That's the no waiting level, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So they're saying
1 2 1 2.
they're saying that the $3,000 would be $30.70 a month.
Okay.
So before I give you any other options, how does that feel for you guys?
And that's for 3,000?
That's 3,000. Yep. So now I can go up to 4,000 or 5,000, like if you want to hear other options.
What's the 4,000 one?
Let's see. 4,000. $39.87. So it's like $9-ish more per month for an extra $1,000 of coverage. How much are you paying on your 5,000, Deborah?
$45.
45. So let me just, and that was 4 years ago, right? So life insurance increases by age. I mean, he could get 5,000 for $49 if he gets approved for this plan, which is not much more than you're paying. But I really want you to find honestly, you guys don't need more than 3,000 if you're doing just a simple cremation. I really want to make sure it's something that's comfortable and affordable.
Yeah. What do you say, babe?
just do the cremation part.
The 3,000?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do the 3,000, Dina.
Okay. Now, let me ask you guys a question. I should have asked you this before I offered this to you.
Dina, why didn't you? No, just kidding.
Oh, I'm sorry, because I'm human and I make mistakes sometimes.
No, I'm just kidding with you.
So Mutual of Omaha, their application process, you have to sign your HIPAA authorization and the application by
Right.
text. So are you very text
Right.
savvy? Can you do texting and stuff?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
I have to get more savvy on my phone because
just in case, I just want to, as a backup, I have another company called American Amicable. They're actually a 100-year-old company as well, and they're offering the $3,000 for $32 a month. But if it comes to it, I can do a voice application with them. If we can't figure out the texting thing, we can pivot to American Amicable if we have to do a voice signature. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
We are slowly running out of time. We have live dials with Joe here in a few minutes. I ended up looking up pricing for her at the same time. He gets declined twice. We uncovered the memory meds. And let me see if I can find where he talks himself into getting $100 a month.
Right out for the first 2 years setting you up in the savings account, your bank ain't giving you that kind of money.
All right.
The savings account, you got your money market account doesn't pay you that kind of money.
All right, let's do it, Dina. Or Dana. I call you Dina because I have a niece named Dina. I'm sorry. It's Dana.
No, that's okay. That's okay. All right.
Well, let's do that one, I guess.
You got to put that. You'll get papers on that says all this, right?
I'll get papers for all this.
Yeah. Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, you're going to get a copy of the application today.
What?
And
nobody's giving 10% interest out there. No bank or nothing. You can't beat that with a stick.
Okay, Dana, let's just do it, girlfriend.
Okay. Girlfriend.
Okay, hold on.
All right, guys, that's all we have time for because I don't want to go into Joe's live dial session. The point, I know it would be nice to hear like how we pivoted and stuff, but it wasn't hard, right? Because it was all the work that we did in the first 20 minutes. All the work we did in the first 20 minutes is really what determines when something goes wrong when you're doing an application. If you have no legs in your presentation and you just try to push something through for a level and it comes back graded or not favorable or modified, what are the chances that they're going to want to keep at it and continue to hear what you have to say? Right? At this point, you're just talking them into it and you're disappointing them and like you're nothing but an order taker. So no matter what, it's the first 20 minutes that determines the trajectory of the rest of your call.